This session brought to you by Odyssey Games for pre-orders and sealed product, CCG Prime for tons of singles and supplies, Cardo Doko for international rulers looking for product, and fowlibrary.com for articles and wonderful deck lists, as well as our guest lecturer members King Pearlshine, Vite Ramen, Mognite, and Darren Noblock. Class is in session.
It's like, well, we were wondering because like Jeremy was going to bring a gun to Worlds. That was the perfect time. The perfect time for this to start.
I'm like starting the intro.
Jeremy, can you just start this over?
We ended last week.
I'm just gonna play the intro again.
This session brought to you by Odyssey Games for pre-orders and sealed product, CCG Prime for tons of singles and supplies, Cardo Doko for international rulers looking for product, and fowlibrary.com for articles and wonderful deck lists, as well as our guest lecturer members King Pearlshine, Vite Ramen, Mognite, and Darren Noblock. Class is in session.
Hey there, rulers! Welcome back after another long week of Force of Will to your favorite ever live Force of Will podcast. It's Office Hours featuring myself, DMO73, and I am joined as always by Mike Rance.
Paul is a menace, dude.
And Paul Reisman.
To society, a menace to society.
Yeah. Take two. Pull the classic Game Grumps. Run the intro again. We are
Barry, play the intro again, Barry.
We're talking about all kinds of cool spoilers as well as some interesting news that we got out of this past week. But before we get into that, just a couple of things. First off, Odyssey Games has just posted pre-release kits for this set. I know last set they just did boxes. Up to this point, they had only been pre-ordering boxes. They have decided to put up some last-minute pre-release kits available for pre-order. You can check those out in the description below. It's $199.99 plus shipping, plus $10 for shipping. So pretty great deal to get this set if you haven't already. One thing to note about pre-release kits is that pre-release kits do not have the extended ruler card in there, or the extended rule card in them. We knew that from the sell sheet going into this set, so just keep that in mind. So just a heads up. What sushi burritos I'm gonna get a Japan. Okay. I also want to say that this Saturday is our next Discord. I know that this Saturday is also bad timing. It's also pre-release, but for those of you who don't have pre-release or have a pre-release on Friday or Sunday, Saturday is our May 20th Ruler School Discord webcam exhibition for the awesome Playmat, which I will show here one last time. There is a link to the Google Drive sign-up sheet down below. I really would like you all to sign up for that. I'd love to break 30 players for that event. It would turn it into an excellent fundraiser for FowFest. It would be a really cool time. It's just one day. Keep that in mind. So like all you have to do is top 8. You don't even have to play the top card of top 8. You just got a top 8 and you walk away with this sick mat right here on screen. It's going to be absolutely dope.
See it.
Yeah, it's going to be super dope. Really hope you all enter and have a good time with that. Okay, so that's all of the business out of the way. Oh, yeah, always, if you like what we're doing on the channel, want to consider supporting us, click that join button down below. Join the channel as a member. Get access to cool emotes and all kinds of other cool perks. Okay, spoilers. We got some more red stuff, but we got like generic red stuff, not Ox red stuff, or not Electro red stuff. So let's jump in.
I like generic.
Generic is good. Generic is good. Hey, it's great. First up, we have the End of War. Pay 1 red to remove all cards in all graveyards from the game. This card deals X 100 damage to your opponent, where X is the number of resonators removed this way. It's both graveyards.
Yeah,
I like it.
Like, that's kind of neat.
Listen, man,
and it's quick cast.
I was about to say fetal movement in the outer world walked so that this card could run.
Fetal movement was also just your opponent's grave?
It was just your opponent's grave, but it was 2 fire, man.
It was 2 fire. It was only your opponent's grave, but it was for every card removed? Or was it still just resonators?
But remove all cards in target player's graveyard.
But very importantly, if fetal movement was targeting your opponent, there's no way you could kill them. If there's 20 resonators in both graves, this kills them.
Yes, for sure. There is a possible way to just murder. Not like we get 20 resonators in both graveyards, but like 10, 15 for one is not nothing to shake a stick at. Like
in ABC, this will probably happen.
Yeah. Also, this is a very potentially very, very good card for ABC. Yeah, for sure. You could use because it does say all graveyards, so it would hit all 4 players on the table.
Oh.
First of all, finally figuring out that like if you want to make a multiplayer format, you can't have things say your opponent.
Yeah. So this was well designed. It's a very cool card. It's a very cool card. I like it a lot. I'm not a burn player, but I can appreciate burn players getting this cool tool.
It's a really nice replacement for Spirit of Decay in Athenia decks.
As well as Asuka.
Does Asuka want to remove her grave, though?
No, but she wants to be able to kill you.
Yeah, I was about to say, if your graveyard's full, but your
play
opponent's
like
life is also full.
Because the thing is, you play that deck with like the burn version of Asuka is like Daji, Lucifers, like stuff that's already draining their life anyway. So then like you just kind of use this for reach. I mean, even like Robert Greene's like really cool little red resonance trigger, like burn Asuka, like this card probably fits right into that version of the deck.
Interesting.
So
yeah, I'm not an Asuka player, so I wouldn't know.
Hey, Chivalrous is fucking dead, bro.
What?
It says Chivalrous will end the Spiral of Sorrow. He's like over a gravestone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She's fucking dead, bro.
She got ganked.
She got ganked.
Damn. One
She
set.
died trying to save her mom, Electra.
She died doing what she loved. War.
Speaking of Electra, the other thing that I will note about this card, just in general, is that it's a better burn finished late game finisher than Split.
Yeah.
Right? Because it used to be that like Split was the way that burned. I mean, for the very longest time, there have been better ones over the time, but like this feels very much like it feels that same kind of like I just need to close the game now, and this fits that perfectly well for that deck.
I remember Split used to be a meta definer. Good times.
Good times. This is Chivalry's Tears. It's the red remove X spells. Target X players or J/resonators. This card deals 800 damage to each chosen that is something your opponent or that they control. Everything that you control gains when it's destroyed. It comes back into the field under your control tapped until end of turn. I'm really glad that we don't have Sack Altar. Like, jeez. Like, we don't have a really good...
Funny, Jeremy.
We have selective decapitation, which kind of like can serve a similar purpose, right? But it's like, okay.
Selective decapitation is literally just sacrificial altar at home.
Yeah, like this card is crazy. Like this card is still very, very good. This card is also like once again a card that makes me just go, oh, so like Brad Olivia's a deck, like. I mean, think about it. They go to kill your dolly. You're just like, cool. Chivalrous Oct. I'll remove the 4 Brads in my hand, burn a bunch of things, and make my dolly immediately come back and produce another will and draw a card. Like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, it's.
Yeah.
You think I'm joking? We're gonna build Brad Olivia for the channel, and I honestly don't think it's gonna be bad.
Yeah. Remember when Playdead was banned?
What? Oh, Playdead?
Yeah. Just like
was it? Did it happen? Yeah, it was banned for a bit.
Yeah,
that's true.
Look how far we've come.
I mean, technically, this is kind of like worse Playdead.
Yeah.
Playdead only cost 1.
And strength counters, so the cost was playing Keurig.
Yeah, the cost, but Keurig was good, so like
was. Yeah.
This costs you 2. So this costs you double the amount of will if you're just reviving one thing. Or it costs you 2 cards to revive one thing. So, like, this honestly feels like a more fair play dead, in a sense. So
more flexible, but more fair.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a good thing.
Certainly a very interesting card in the sense that, like, you can just remove stuff in your hand rather than play the cost, right? Like, that's interesting, especially for things like Beatrice. Where it's like, I'm going to reduce, like, I'm going to put all these things on board, and then I'm just going to, like, get rid of my entire hand to burn my board, bring it all back, and then I'm at null, right? That's where my mind goes first with this. I mean, the Brad package is definitely something to respect.
Oh, yeah, these cards are all insane for Beatrice. Like, she has, like, instant speed ways to get herself down to 0 cards while also actually applying pressure. Like, oh. okay, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's not nothing. And I'd even honestly consider playing Brads in that deck because you can like trigger the nulls to draw and then trigger the Brads to come back to your hand, right? So you can like keep reusing them. Like the now that we've seen some of the quick cast remove stuff cards, like I'm sold that there's space for it, right? Like it's pretty good. And so I'll be very curious to see what comes out of it.
Well, in addition, like if you paired her up with Astema, you just get free will at that point too. To just replace this card's cost. So the more I look at this card, the more I'm like, oh, okay, I can see little niches for this now. Initially was not very impressed, but interesting.
Yeah, it's the name. I think the name of this set is Unexpected Synergy. Right? Like across the board as we've been looking at cards, we've just been like, "Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. That actually works really well." Like, you know,
we
what I
talk
mean?
about how that's a really good name for a pack. Unexpected Synergy.
Synergy, yeah, for sure. Like, I really like this set. Also, the artwork of this set is like on point. So like,
yeah,
it's great. Next up we have Garfield.
Garfield.
Garfy?
Not Garfield. Garfield.
No, Garfield.
Garfy.
We're just gonna call him Garfield. I'm just gonna call him Garfield. The administrator of the Great Dimension Library, 2 green, 8/8 gears. This card cannot attack or block. Whenever you play an addition spell, trigger, draw a card.
I think you missed some text in here. It says, whenever you play a lasagna, it's free.
That's also true. That's true. I forgot that text.
All lasagna resonators are costless.
Yeah.
Wait, let me wait, hang on.
Can we talk about can
we talk about this flavor text? Like, it's just as why do they call it oven when you in the hot, cold food out of the hot eat the food? Like, that's so weird.
That's not what the flavor text is.
I don't get it, man.
So the interesting thing about this is he's a gears, which means that like addition control Eins just got a new tool, because you can reveal this and have Eins just permanently having the ability of whenever you play a spell, draw an addition spell, draw a card. Like, okay.
Like, is that just where this card lives? Because like other than that, I'm like,
probably
maybe some of the
probably some of the new like imitator deck, like the Tsukihime like treasury deck probably as well. But like other than that, probably control Eins, which is just fine. Which is just fine to me. It's very neat. I like this card a lot.
If it's Monday, you lose the game.
Oof, unfortunate.
Get your meta zoo out of my force of will.
Can only attack or block if it's Monday.
Yeah. Next up, we have Garfy's Rejection. 2 green, 1 green, 1 colorless. Quick cast. Cancel target spell unless its opponent pays X, where X is the number of additions you control, and it is Master Garfy.
Cancel target Monday.
Cancel target Monday. This card's pretty good. Like, this card is not terrible. I mean, it's not like, as far as mastery cancels go, it's exactly how I would want it to be, right? I don't want it to be just a safe free cancel. I want it to be something that like is more of a wall of wind type tax.
A feat thing, really.
I don't know. I feel like with the design of this card, I feel like right now you have a lot of things have to go right for it to see play, in all honesty, because I don't think Garfy is good enough on his own. Play him and then hope you draw this. If Garfy treated himself as an addition, then I think it would see play. But he doesn't have that line of text. So
absolutely.
Yeah, I think that there's certainly some like avenues where you might see this card, but it's just almost kind of like a worse Feath thing.
Yep.
But I'm also kind of like glad that it's a worse Feath thing. You know what I mean? Like, Feathsing itself has already, like, as expected, once people adjusted to Feathsing landed solidly in the A tier card, but people have like, it's not just like meta defining broken, right? Like, it's just a strong card. And this to me is like a weaker Melfi. Not so much that's going to replace Melfi, but so much of just like, okay, well, there's like a budget Melfi, I guess.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Vampire
a budget Feathsing, and that's okay.
Vampire 989 just made me realize why Garf says it can't attack or block. Because if you put it into Moon Kage, you just keep playing the kimonos, put them all on him, and swing for the game. You can't swing with him; he can't attack or block.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This card, I don't know how many additions are in the Welser deck, but in Welser it costs 1, which I think is interesting.
Well, it costs 2, and then Welser could refund you back 1.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it.
So I mean, it's different because you can cancel.
It is different.
Trigger.
Yeah,
You can cancel Welser's trigger. It's important.
this is true.
Yeah, Roderick, I don't want anything to power creep Feasting either. Yeah, no, I think this is fine. I think this is fine to like create a similar effect to Feasting, right? Because it's a lower, it's a normal, so it'll be easier for people to pick up. It's a higher mana cost, which that sometimes situationally can be cheaper than her, but it's the same kind of like I have to have situationally kind of things.
They should just reprint Feasting with the original text about entities on her.
Stop. Absolutely not. Refuse. Literally,
Dude.
Okay, listen to me. I've been playing Force of Will for 8 years. I've been doing Force of Will content for 8 years. When I saw Feasting as printed, I did at like the time between Feasting seen as printed and when I got news that it was being fixed was literally the only time in my life that I actively considered leaving. Like, I legitimately thought about bailing. I was just like, nope. But I was like, hey, emotions run high. Let's give it 24 hours. And within 24 hours, they were like, no. That's not what it is. And I was like, great. Like, truth to tell, when Feasting was first shown, that was the only moment where I was like, oh, okay, I'm done. Like, I'm out. But they didn't do that. So here I am.
Wow.
There you go.
Someone almost hit the big red button.
I almost hit the big red button over
Jeez.
Feasting as initially printed.
You heard it here first, folks. I've never heard him say that.
Yeah, no, we were almost
Wow.
done. We were almost fully done. Great Dimension Library, 1-drop Gears. If a card would be put into a graveyard from anywhere, remove it from the game instead. Tap, draw a card, then discard a card. Banish this card until end of turn. You may play a card from your removed area that was removed by this card. You may pay 1 void less to play it. Interestingly enough, this is also a colored Gears, and so Ainz can reveal this.
I heard you like Macrocosmos.
New drink.
Yeah, you could just well, it's only one-sided though. So it's also like if it was double-sided, then like I'm like, oh, Ainz probably just reveals this first and you suddenly have like this addition control Ainz with like playing Macrocosmos would be pretty sick. But it only has 0 sides. So it's like,
Put it in
What if Macrocosmos only hurt you? Is that good?
yeah.
Also,
self-macro.
very importantly, fun drinking game for this card. Every time it says card on it, take a shot. Draw a card, discard a card, banish this card. You may play a card, remove this card.
Yeah, for sure.
Card no longer has any meaning.
Interestingly to note, I didn't catch it at first. This appears to be the only card in this set that was designed by AI. So they heard community feedback and drastically cut back on the amount of AI card arts that were used.
I think what they have on here is actually what's supposed to be on the back of the Declaration of Independence. I'm pretty sure Nick Cage is going to be getting a whole shitload of these cards. So I'm very excited.
We're going to steal every copy of Great Dimension Library.
It's like it turns out if you turn over the Declaration of Independence and it says, if a card would be put anywhere.
We the people put cards from our
For the people, if you put if I put a
It's neat. I like it.
It's a card.
Next up we have...
I'm sorry, I'm still on the card. There was a question that Jordan and I had because we were talking about this card.
Sure.
Because of the replacement effect, if you try and pay cost with Athenia's support from like take stuff removed from game and put it into your graveyard, it just wouldn't work, correct?
Well, that's a good question. That's the old classic of like, because that used to be the concern about like, can you successfully pay cost? And I believe that was specifically in like had something to do with Tea Party, right? Of like, I think Tea Party was the first thing that like caused that problem of like, if something would prevent you from moving your Tea Party to the graveyard, could you activate it? And I think it was ruled that you can't because you can't successfully pay the cost. But that was so long ago that I can't remember.
Yeah. Because we were like considering this maybe in that as well, but I was like, I don't know
think
if I
you
can
pay the cost.
If I
Yeah,
can't
don't
pay the
think you can pay the
cost.
Good old
Yeah.
classic macrocosmos dimensional fissure problems.
Just need DD Survivor
my-
now.
Where's my Grandma June Garzette?
Stop. It's also
It's in
great
your
match.
bottom desires.
Pretty much.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my gosh.
This also is very good with Eins in particular as well, because you can usually like recover Eins using Gearification Facility of Solari, right? So like you can like call stone and then use Gearification Facility to recover Eins and turn Eins into a Magog every turn, which boosts up the consistency of control Eins. Like this is legitimately pretty good for control Eins, right? You're not gonna banish your ruler to play a card from Void. I think it was also been ruled that you can't, but like can't
imagine why.
Yeah, but but I think this is like control Eins. Green control Eins got some really cool tools with this set with Garfy, and this card, like very neat stuff. I honestly will probably build a green control Eins deck again because it'll feel a lot more like fleshed out and flexible than it was before. So I'm excited to duel around with it. Next up, we have 2 cards that are maybe going in the cube, but that's it. We have Rainbow Spirit, 5-drop Spirit, 10/10, flying. You may pay 1 void less to play this card for each different Magic Stone type among basic Magic Stones you control. It says basic Magic Stone. Moving on. And also, we have Magic Stumblebug, 1-drop 2/2, gains +2/+2 for each different Magic Stone among Magic Stone types basic Magic Stone types you control in the field and your graveyard. On enter, banish a Magic Stone you control. If you do, search your stone for a Magic Stone, for a basic Magic Stone, and put it into the field. Then shuffle, recover, by the way. Then shuffle your Magic Stone deck. This is okay as a flexible point to be able to maybe play off a Phantasmal Ascendant, but it also says basic Magic Stone, so we're moving on.
Keep rolling, 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 rolling. Keep rolling, rolling, rolling.
They're honestly probably both going to go in the cube. Like, I think they're perfectly good. Like
These cards look like they would have come out in like 2014 and still been useless.
Like,
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, they're very strange. I was just like, what are these? Very much limited type supports.
Next set, there's going to be a rule that cares about basic stones. Just you
There
wait.
you go. There you go.
Definitely draft.
Oh, go play. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, basic Magic Stone with Baroost and Civil War, and also using like Phantasmal Ascendant to like ramp stones in. Yeah, that's pretty neat. That's pretty neat. I mean, like there are some things that you can do with it, right? But it's also just like, why? This seems random. Why didn't you give us cards that like get bonuses for being in the crew deck, instead of these?
No, they had to give green bad cards. They finally are learning.
Yeah, for sure.
See, guys, we're not force of wind. We're force of bad.
There you go. So let's talk about my boy Wednesday coming back and doing what is just hands down one of the most beautiful pieces of card art of this set. This is Tsukihime, Gears Princess of the Moon. Gears finally getting a Marvel rare. Cannot be revealed with Eins. Just keep that in mind because it has an attribute. 2-drop 7/7. Enter, search your deck for a treasury item, reveal it, and put it into your hand. If you do, shuffle your deck. At the beginning of each player's turn, if you control 6 or more treasury items with different names, they all become 10/10 resonators, and then all of your J/resonators gain +10/+10 until end of turn. Tap, target non-Magic Stone entity gains treasury item until end of turn, and pay 0. Rest target treasury entity until end of turn. It loses all abilities as long as it is rested. Play this ability only once per turn.
This card
This card's great. I like this card a lot.
I think it's
So treasury items have a win con.
Yeah.
Hooray.
Hooray.
It only took till the year of our Lord 2023.
I don't know.
Yeah, this also is a K4 card. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kaguya
very
4
much.
would like a word with your Kaguya 4 would like a word with your manager. Like this card's crazy.
This card is so good. Like First Moon was already being played, and it's also it just happens to be a treasury item.
Yeah, K1 and K2, like all of the Kaguyas love this, right? I mean, maybe not K3. K3 didn't really care about treasury items; she cared about moons.
Moons.
But K1, 2, and 3 and 4, love this.
I think we got a whole bunch of moons in this set for Kaguya 3.
Crazy. Yeah, that's also true. K3 got a lot of moons. This card's very cool. I like this card a lot. Also, it's just gorgeous.
I will say,
It's just gorgeous.
There's a
Best
lot of
thing
good
about
color
this-
in it.
best thing about this card is the artwork. I do love this new flavor of Alice. Whoops.
Look, man, they finally kind of gave Wednesday a Kaguya type character. Like, come on. Now Wednesday has drawn like 2 of the 3 most popular characters, or 2 of the 4 most 2 of the 5. 2 of the 5 most popular characters in 4. So it's Will, Alice, Kaguya, Sylvia, and Dark Alice. Those are like the 5, right?
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
I don't think Wednesday's done a Dark Alice.
Is it weird that this card feels very Winmore to me? I don't feel like it's going to be like that impactful.
I think it's going to be a win con for a treasury deck.
I think so too, but I feel like if you're in a position where this card is going to come down and do something relevant, you should already be winning, in my opinion. But that's just me.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, sure.
It's us also, we can set up some nasty stuff with Genocider and Prisoner in K4. Yeah, for sure. This also like helps turn on Genocide attack. Like this is going to help turn on the gears. It's going to help turn on the gears stuff. The contracts, because they need a number of treasury items to be able to successfully contract. So you can play Tsukihime and then like use Tsukihime to like artificially inflate your contract numbers and like your treasury item numbers, and then go up, right?
I'm just gonna look
which I
up
think is neat.
treasury items because I want to see like because like you could
Imagine
also
being
just
able to
tutor-
kill with only
Roll fire
Komodos.
rack.
Yeah. We don't need to bestow the Komodos onto anything. Just make them 10/10s, and then beat your opponent to death. True meaning of 12 Komodo
let's
beatdown.
see. The last treasury item we got was sapling of the treasure tree back in
We're gonna get
Not-
some more. Pretty sure this set.
That's kinda
I think
cute.
they're
I'm not
pretty,
gonna lie.
pretty
Mono.
clearly hinting at it.
Millennium Medicine. We have the new like obviously the Grail.
And also the green-blue like treasuries for all of the K4 support. Next up, we have Minions of Tsukihime. 2 cost 5/8 flying gears. You may pay 1 void less to play treasury items, and you can rest a recovered treasury item you control. Target J/Resonator gains +2/+2 until end of turn. This card's great.
Yo, I'm going to be
Really
real
good.
with you guys. Why the fuck is this a super rare?
Because they had to give Void a super rare.
This literally just feels like this text belongs on a normal. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I think this card feels great. I mean, I think that this card feels more like a super rare when we see what is very clearly coming as the treasury suite that is coming down the pike. Like, I think we're about to see a lot of void treasuries, and so making them all cheaper, potentially if there's already one that costs 1, might be insane. Like, as to why this thing is turning stuff on. Like, because they showed us Grail, so we already know that there's a void treasury item, which means there will probably be more. And I will also point out that it's honestly, with Grail being the one that we've seen, it's probably pretty likely that the others are going to maybe be modeled after like K1 like the OG treasuries.
Oh, like branch and that stuff.
Stone Bowl of Buddha, Fire Rat. Because the other thing is lore-wise, because here's the other thing. Lore-wise, the Gears is like going back in time to like find knowledge of the histories and then making like mechanized versions of them. So if you're
Sure.
going for like the purest Blue Moon character, like the purest moon character, that's K1, and K1's treasuries are all like, that was her whole thing, was all these treasuries, right? So like Tsukihime feels like Gears' attempt at K1, which means there's probably going to be like OG treasuries involved.
I'd love to
I
see
don't
it
know.
Because like,
yeah, that'd be cool.
nope.
Like, what a callback, right? What a callback
Yeah.
to Crimson Moon is to have like the big bad be like K1.
Oh wait,
we're all
isn't
kind of
Aladdin?
bad now. So
Isn't Aladdin's lamp a treasury item too?
I don't know. Maybe.
so let me go back. I think it is actually.
We can search spirits. We can search Jinn.
Can't believe these spoilers make me make a third Apollo Sphere plus Thunder of Zeus deck. Apollo Sphere is a treasury. That's a thing.
Oh, Apollo
Leaves
spheres.
Yggdrasil is also a treasury item.
There's a lot of treasury items.
Make sure you draw some
next-
angry eyes on it. So it
Next
means-
up, we have Moon Dust Revolution. It is a 1 void quick cast chant that, as an additional cost to play this card, pay any amount of will and/or rest any number of recovered treasury items with different names. Kind of yawn.
Schrodinger's observation
Ooh.
is shitting
This-
itself right now.
This card,
Helpful.
this card deals 400 damage multiplied by X to target player or J/Resonator, where X is the combined amount of will and treasury items rested. You gain 400 life multiplied by X and draw cards until you have X cards in your hand.
Schrodinger's observation shitting itself right now.
This is like K4 control saying, "Oh, sick!" Like, I have an instant speed win con that's also not reanimating, like turning K4 into a J ruler. Like, this card is pretty cool. I really like it. I also really am glad that it's not an X spell. It's like base cost is 1, so like we still can interact with it with things like Garion and stuff, so it doesn't get super out of hand. But it's still very cool.
And
This
it's
card
a
is
quick
very
cast, so you can just do it on your
Yeah.
opponent's turn and then go
Yeah.
into your turn.
And then recover all of the treasuries that you just tapped, and then do it again.
And you have a bunch of cards in your hand
Your
now.
collector's
That's cool.
gears and your 3
Oh, it's-
wise men and your Melfies and
Oh my god, this in
your
this in
secret
like,
elves, your flutes.
yo, this with the Tron lands.
This with the Tron lands.
This is the Tron lands.
Yeah.
Oh,
Argami WinCon for game.
oh.
Yeah, for sure.
Love it.
Next up we have Ark's Descenders. This is 3 void. Choose 1. Put target non-Magic Stone, non-Jade Ruler entity on bottom of its owner's deck. Draw a card. Reveal a card named Imitation Cain, Abel, or Eve you own from outside the game. I'm sorry.
Wow.
It's been a long day. That
Sorry,
does not
are
share
we
a name with
boring
Jade
you?
rulers you control and put it into your ruler area. And it has Master, Gears rulers with no attribute, and Gears rulers with no attribute. So a couple things about this card. Just real quick. It does not say you have to already control an Imitation Cain, Abel, or Eve to be able to
Correct.
use that third mode. So you
Oh.
can just bring those rulers into whatever deck you want. Let's get 6 rulers. Let's play 6 rulers. Let's go. Let's play a ruler,
not?
2 moon children, and cast this card 3 times so that we can have 6 rulers. Why not? Let's go.
All 5 stones.
It's
can't do
terrible.
that.
It's terrible. Don't do it. But like, what a
But-
meme.
But do it. It's like the full
Um,
Chad. It's the Chad move.
Zex and Noin get to use this.
Section 9 do get to use this, which is honestly really relevant for them. Like having a third ruler would be pretty good for them. Just like because now we can start using their mastery spell a lot more without like both of their masteries without feeling concerned. Like you could very easily you could tap them both, play this card, get whichever one you care about, probably Attack Order, if we're being honest, probably Genocider, so that you can play Genocider's contract. And then Genocider can be the one to, or like Cain can be the one to call stones, and then you can use Sextant Noin for their mastery spells, like freely, which is like, that suddenly breathes a whole bunch of new life into that deck, right? Like, that's pretty freaking cool. This is a very neat card. I like this card a lot. It's a really cool boost to Gears rulers. I like it.
Yeah, I got no other thoughts, especially because we're about to see the vanillas.
Yeah.
The vanilla rulers, I have so many thoughts.
And here's the vanilla rulers. So this is Imitation Cain. Looks very, very gross and cool.
Yep.
Here's Imitation Abel, looking all big and burly, got a cool shield. And this is Imitation Eve, and they do not do anything.
Other than, unfortunately,
V3
we'll say.
rulers.
Unfortunately, we'll
Other
say wood. But anyway, continue.
Uh, so the design of these rulers reminds me very heavily of Knights of Sidonia on Netflix, in the sense that it's like biology and sort of like gears sort of mashed together in ways that look like really visceral and like like creepy. Like these are the creepiest Gears rulers by far. And Eve is very thick. It's true.
Yeah, for sure.
Extra thick.
That's how she wins the game. She just crushes your skull with her.
And I will say they make up for the fact that they're vanilla when you see these contracts, because like we've seen the first two and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, okay, got it. First off, welcome to insert best 1-drop removal spell ever printed. This is attack order. 1 void quick cast. Destroy target J/Resonator of total cost 2 or less. If you control 1 or more treasury items, you can contract this card with imitation.
Oh, it's J/Resonator? Woo!
Yeah, it's J/. So it's just like one void, kill anything. Can we get True Blade of Spirits off the ban list, please?
Nope.
Like,
Never can. Sorry.
like this is ridiculous. Like this card is hands down. Like, I'm probably personally going to try to own 3 playsets of this card because of how good it's going to be forever. Like, this card is very, very good. Even outside of, like, because it doesn't say you have to pay it with gears. So literally anybody can play this, right?
This card is going to shape a lot of things.
Yeah. It's also probably going to make us start playing 3-drops in our Resonator pools again so that we don't just immediately clapped. And it turns into Genocider, who also, this artwork is sick. It is Precision Flying 4/4 that keeps Imitation Cane. Gears J/rulers you control gain +2/+2 for each treasury item you control. Thank you. Whenever this card attacks, your opponent banishes a Resonator.
Got Annihilator. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Also just randomly has those like hiding behind the nameplate wings. Like you look and you're like, oh, he's got demon wings.
Yeah, but he's flying with the wings.
Yeah.
It's the Cardinal Sin of Force of Will. He has wings and flies.
I mean,
yeah. Also,
he
doesn't care that he doesn't
villain.
have swiftness.
So
also, he doesn't care that he doesn't have swiftness because you could just contract at the end of your opponent's turn and then go into your turn.
Yep.
I'm really glad there's somebody on the localization team that really likes not Persona, Danganronpa 2.
Yeah, that's what people have said. Pretty seriously, Danganronpa 2.
I mean, also I could go for a really nice class of Genocider.
Yeah. Next up, we have Defense Order, another card that is going to see play in a ton of different decks, even outside of these rollers. Additions and J/Resonators you control gain Eternal until end of turn. If you control 2 or more treasury items, you may contract this card with Imitation Able, and it becomes Prisoner, which is also just an absolutely sick artwork. Flying, doesn't have wings, but can fly. This card gains Imitation Able. It's a 7/7 base stat. J-rulers you control gain Barrier during your turn, and J/Resonators your opponent control cannot attack unless your opponent pays 1 void. Each attack costs 1 void.
So Acheron was a great addition a few years ago, and now it has stats. Kind of.
Illusory Mermaid also has like shown itself to be very, very good. And it's a 1-drop 7/7, or it's a 1-drop 1/7. This is a 1-drop quick cast 7/7. Like,
all right, I'm gonna be real with you guys. If Eve's fucking contract is Heal Order, I'm gonna roll over my grave.
Attack, defense, heal.
It's just Vespaquen, dude.
That's what everyone has been saying. It's just Vespaquen. It's so funny. And yeah, also Sigmund, rocket it for sure. Like bringing every single copy of this to Worlds to get Sigmund to sign it. Like,
yeah.
This is
the mermaid.
Stop talking about mermaids. Nobody cares about mermaids.
No, Steven has trauma flashbacks of mermaids. Oh, that was rough. Oh, sorry, buddy.
That was bad.
That was
really glad Steve was able to pop into one of these just to get fucking Vietnam flashbacks.
Yeah. Sorry. And that's actually our last spoiler for the night. Tomorrow we're probably gonna see Eve's Order. but that's not the end of our discussion for the night, because
Oh.
we also got some other news, unexpected. Hashtag never ending cluster. This is set 5 of Hero Cluster, Clash of the Star Trees. We've got some new character artwork here. We've seen some of the playmat artwork for it. We've seen a couple big changes. I got to bring up this information real quick here so we can talk about it, because I've got it on my phone, so it's easier to see for me to be able to read. So a couple of things that we've learned about this set is that phone, come on, I didn't break you too bad, just load. Some things we've learned about this set is that 5 rulers who will team up with Tag. So we have another like 6 Magic Stone of this, or like 6 Sages kind of suite of rulers who will be able to tag together. 2 rulers who will have Tag with rulers from the past. 5 rulers, 2 rulers will be able to tag from past rulers by the extension rules. So we're gonna have more extension rule cards, which is neat, which is honestly great. And furthermore, the contract cards are regalia this time around. So instead of being a chant that you resolve, it's a regalia that sits on the field, and then if you meet certain conditions while it's there, you can flip it into its J ruler form. So you want to know what the extension rule cards are probably going to be related to? Alice and Lapis Cluster. Because you want to know what sets had a hero and a villain, and both sets had a tree. One that was good, one was bad. Alice and Lapis Cluster. Remember what set had regalia? Alice and Lapis Cluster. Wee. I'm excited about it. I'm
Look at the
excited about it.
Tokusatsu vibe from the triple rulers. I mean, like, I can see it, honestly. Like, I can see them as like the villains of the Tokusatsu. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Of that
I think
season.
I think this is pretty cool. My hype about the extension ruler card will certainly be like, I'll get more or less hype when I finally understand how they work. Hint: I know how they work, because I've opened products for the video that you're gonna see on Wednesday. But I'm gonna tell you that I don't know how they work because
I know about it, but I'm not gonna tell you.
I know
I'm
about
not
it, but
gonna
I'm going to
tell
tell you I don't know about it after I told you I know about it.
yeah, for sure.
guess
I
what,
say that
just
because
me, I know.
Jeremy
I say that because
Jeremy just really gatekeep girl boss gaslighting everybody.
I did, for sure. I will say this Wednesday we are opening our pre-release kit. There's the video instead of a feature match this week. You are going to see the pre-release kit box opening. It's very, very cool. This set is very, very cool. Clash of the Star Trees though has me very excited as well. Very clearly, the character on the left looks like some kind of homage to Lenneth, because we've got a caduceus on the
And it's
bottom
an
of her
anime
sword.
girl.
And we've also seen that one of the regalia is very clearly a caduceus in like the sell sheet. The buy a box promo is like a caduceus. So which also means that they're going into the same phase of like making one of the contracts readily accessible through buy a box / pre-release kit, which I honestly am very happy about. Like it's gonna make this set so much more accessible to people for Electra for a long time, which is very cool. But like, weird that we have 5 sets this cluster, right? They were like, okay, we're switching to with dual cluster. We're doing three clusters are going to be 3 sets long. And we got into Saga cluster, and we're like, nope, 5.
It's either like the makeup set, or they're just like, cool, we're in Wander, which means we can just like have more story for every arc, right?
Yeah. Which to me feels, which is fine for me. Like I don't care that the clusters are a certain amount of length. Like when the story is told, and we can move on.
Yeah.
And also, honestly, like when it comes to clusters, there's no like overarching things that go between the clusters. Like each set has its own unique identity for the most part. It's not like you're getting something like, oh, everything has to be exactly Divinity, like it was for New Valhalla cluster.
Yeah.
One on the raid is Bob. Love it.
It's Bob. Go call him Bob. They said future clusters will be smaller. They said this is hero clusters again. Yeah, I mean, it does, like, legitimately, because we're in Wanderer, the size of clusters doesn't matter to me. I honestly don't care. Like,
It's gonna be interesting to see, like, if they just use clusters to introduce more gimmicks and just like continue to support previous stuff.
like feels like identity, kind of like, you know, how Magic does it, or like any other game with clusters does it. It's just kind of like a new concept, start of a new block, right?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Or like series in Yu-Gi-Oh,
Could
which
be
were
12.
like 2 years long. They were like eight to 9 like core sets, and they all
There's
had
no
like obviously like
continuity,
just
though.
Xyz. There was no real continuity. No, it was bad. It was just like escalating power creep within the Xyz era or the Synchro era or the whatever era. And now there's like, screw it.
Power creep in my Yu-Gi-Oh couldn't be right.
Yeah, for sure. I think they're going. The clusters will be as big as they want, as long as they can tell the story. For sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. For
I'm
sure.
I'm here for
one
more
set
focus on the
clusters.
story.
No. Stop.
Story per cluster. Story per set.
Yeah. No,
Self-contained.
this set's pretty cool. I'm very excited about it. This is also the second set in a row where the playmat is like, the pre-release playmat is pretty dope. Like, this poster artwork is like extended out to like see more of the characters, and that's the playmat for the pre-release kit. Versus also we have the same one for the one for this set, which was also a really, really cool and looks really nice. It is not just like chop insert 5 characters or chop insert 3 characters. That's a one set cluster if it was a core set. Yeah, for sure. Or the ABC battle box. I spy you listening.
Do it.
ABC battle
I
box.
Kim, I know you're listening. This is
Because we did get confirmation. Shout out to Ryan Lilly, King Pearlshine. We did get confirmation that ABC only follows its own ban list.
Oh.
It does not follow the Wanderer ban list at all.
So that means you can play broken things.
My black-green deck
True Blade.
with Rhea, Sigurd, and Alter is immediately being built.
All right, boys. Get some stuff banned.
Warhorse! Warhorse! Warhorse!
I mean, one warhorse.
It's
Give
fine.
Carolina Swiftness.
Why?
Because you can. It's ABC format.
Any ideas for a budget deck list for Wanderer? I'm just getting into Forza Will. Olivia's
Yeah.
pretty budget.
Prego TK.
Don't do that. Violet, honestly, Violet is very
Violet's
affordable
pretty-
as well.
Yeah, you just
Like,
have
she's
to
pretty-
understand
she's-
how complex bands work.
Yeah, yes, but like we've already seen Roderick out here proven that Violet can still be good. I think
Nine-Tailed
Roderick,
Fox
you
is a
were-
pretty budget-friendly
Yeah.
starting deck.
It was Roderick.
I think Roderick, you got to your winning in, right? I believe you're in the chat. You can let us know. Sudden manifestation of power.
Let's go!
We do have the
It's me!
we have been told that the next ban list is coming out on the 25th. So like soonish.
I sure hope
10
they
days.
ban all the strong
10
cards.
days. Yeah.
If you ignore Tiny Violet.
Most expensive thing in Mermaid is the dolphin. Yeah. But even that Violet has a
How
high
much
seal.
is,
Yeah, that's
how much
true.
is the Dolphin? I'm going to
How
see
much is
how much
Dolly?
Dolly
How much
is.
is Dolly?
I don't even,
Look at
there's
Dolly.
not even 4 of in that deck. That's not even an issue.
You can get away with 2.
Yeah.
So I have the cheapest is like just under $6.
That's
The
pretty
median
affordable.
price
Yeah.
is probably like 7.
That's pretty affordable. And that's
not
probably
too
the
bad.
most expensive card in the deck.
Yeah.
For like a basic Olivia build. Yeah. lot of cool stuff,
Sparklefish
though.
is 20 cents.
Yeah, no, you're good.
How
If you're
much,
excited
how
about
much,
any of
how
this
much are
stuff-
Sprinting Steward and Fish Drive?
Don't buy Sprinting Stewards. It's probably gonna get banned. Anyway, so
Oh my God.
that is it
What
for
am I
us
supposed
for
to
the
play
night.
Worlds, Jeremy?
Something that doesn't involve Sprinting Steward.
But like that's cheese. I love cheese.
There's other
Fish Drive
cheese
is
that you can play.
45 cents.
Just play Final Battle and pay all your life that way.
That is
It's
pretty
amazing.
cheese. I'm not gonna lie.
Uh,
That's real. That's
So-
it's not just cheese. That's real Gouda.
Yeah. Hey. So that is it for us for the night. As we have talked about this stuff, as a reminder, you have a lot of things that you need to go sign up for. First off, you got to go get your pre-orders in for this set with Odyssey Games. Got to check the link in the description. They got pre-release kits. I expect to hear from them on Wednesday that they are sold out of pre-release kits. So make it happen. So that I can go to them and they're like, Jeremy, we sold out of pre-release kits, and I can come back and say, thank you, stream. Good job. Also, if you haven't already, please get signed up for the May 20th Discord event. That is absolutely going to be great, and is our first of our like monthly, like these are probably going to be something that we are going to try to do every single month moving forward, right? So, but we're only going to do them if people sign up for them, right? So like if this is something people want, it's super easy. It gets you points for FowFest in October. It's a great way to help fundraise for a really awesome community-driven event. It's going to be an absolute blast. I have so much cool stuff planned for that event. You have no idea. So check out the link in the description to get signed up for that as well. And until next time, this has been myself, DMO73, and I have been joined, as always, by my Grants.
See, what do you mean play your Fushi deck?
And Paul Reisman.
Just win with Olivia. You all
There you
can.
go.
Just draw the out.
Say class dismissed.